So we took a calculation, yes?
Yeah.
Which, how did we start that? We figured out how many people were on benefits, okay? Google tells you that it's around 6 million, 6.5 million, yes?
Yeah.
The papers recently said that it's down by 20%, which that makes it 5.2 million people.
Yeah.
Then we asked how many houses are in the United Kingdom. 29.9 million houses.
Yeah.
So we minused 5.2 million from 29.9 million for people who are on benefits that don't pay a council tax or a reduced rate. And that gave a number of, if I remember it, 24.7 million.
Yeah.
Then we took
We
the
rounded
lowest amount of
council tax.
council tax, which was
Band
Band
A,
A,
yeah.
which is £108, and there are bands all the way down to D.
Yeah.
So we just took the lowest one,
Yeah.
which is £108. This is what people pay per month.
Yeah.
And how many households is that? Well, when you layer it up against...
25 million in this one.
Yeah, we rounded it down to 25 million, yes.
Yeah.
Which again, it was over 25 million. But just to round it up, or round it down, that means that across the United Kingdom, yes,
Yeah.
that all individuals that are paying a council tax are paying £3 billion
Just
every single month in council tax every single month.
Yeah.
That's if we take the lowest. That's not including the highest or anything else. That's just standardized.
Yeah.
£3 billion and you can't get a dentist. 3 billion, nowhere else in the world pays council tax that I know of. Just the United Kingdom. And you get this little tiny thing from the council that says, oh, you pay this much. And it goes to this, and this, that little stupid pie chart.
Yeah.
£3 billion
Yeah.
each and every single month. And yet South Norfolk are £20 million in debt. So it's confusing in the way that if you were to calculate all of this, this is all low case, worst case scenario and low case scenario. How can you, and that's not including work. So you then ask the question, how many people are in employment? How much tax is off their employment? How much national insurance is in their employment? Where does 3 billion go each and every single month? Do you, in other parts of the world, have a library?
Yeah.
Do you have a police force?
Yeah.
Do you have fire brigade?
Yeah.
Do you have paramedics?
Yeah.
Do you have hospitals?
Yeah.
What else? So you have libraries. Do you have children's services? Is that yeah?
Yes. Yes.
And that all comes off of your work in tax.
Yeah. Working.
Do you have benefit system?
Yeah. For people who need it. I'm quite sure all over Europe is the same or very similar.
But you don't have council tax.
I don't. I never heard about council tax until I came here. Not even in Canada, I hadn't heard about council tax.
So not in Canada. I don't think America has it.
No, they are not. They moved away from the system that was here, as far as they did.
And all of this money, each and every single month, look at the individuals it employs. Well, for your benefit, remember, because when I was speaking to the call centre at the council, they said that the government is not for your benefit. They always work detrimental to you, but not beneficial to you. I mean, whether you want to take that with a pinch of salt or not. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? That's the sort of... You notice that they all keep saying that it's .gov, but is it? Where does this money go? Who gets this money? And then what is this money spent on? Because that's a big amount. What's 3 billion times 12?
Just give me a second. times
12.
36
36 million. Billion. 36 billion. That's 36 billion a year.
Yeah.
On what?
I don't know.
So it isn't people on benefits that are draining the system then? You see, because when we look at America and we see what they're doing, and we look at, let's say, other nations, and they like will protest people on benefits,
Yeah.
and then people here think, oh, look, we can jump on that bandwagon too.
Hmm.
Who are you going to be saving that money for? Because, I mean, it's kind of a drop in the pond, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's something, isn't it?
And then I hear that councils sit on a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they try and save it for the following year to get more, and save it for the following year to get more. Did you know there are CEOs at a council?
How much are they paid?
Again, CEO at the top of a council, someone cashing in off of something.
Yeah, and they will have their special assistants and people who still are paid above usual pay. Or some.
Shouldn't the CEO be the tax pot?
Yeah.
36 billion pounds a year. That doesn't take into consideration tax on food, tobacco, alcohol, petrol,
Yeah.
working tax.
Yeah.
That's just purely council tax.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a pretty big number, that is, isn't it?
It is.
And they say if you go to get a loan for money, yes,
Mm-hmm.
they say no because you wouldn't treat the money right.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to be responsible enough with the money.
Yeah.
Are you sure? It's a good job you don't lend to the council then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get in £20 million worth of debt when combined
don't
it's
know.
36 billion?
Yeah.
How many 20 millions go into 36 billion?
How many?
How many 20 millions go into 36 billion? Might break the calculator.
Yeah, or do I ask?
Yeah, you can ask Google. Let's see if she knows what that is. How many 20 millions go into 36 billion?
Oh my. So how many? 1800.
1800.
1820 millions go into 36 billion.
Where does all this money go? If other nations without it can give the same stuff, and we give even less here in the United Kingdom to the people, but we charge more.
Okay.
So do you think if we downsize the council, because I mean some of these are on 41 grand a year to 28 grand a year, to not do a job and get you to do it for them. So take the environmental health for example. Comes round, does a piss ass job, goes away, you complain, and then they say, oh, what was it you wanted to add to it? Well, I thought that's why you were here. That's why I thought you come round here to do a job, to know what you're doing.
You were qualified to be better.
That's what you have been paid to do, but yet
trained.
you want the complaint process to do the work that you didn't?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. Wow, that's impressive. Where does all that money go? Maybe I missed something here.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm missing something, and that's not including all of the bands. That's just one piece of tax, yes?
Okay. That's just one piece of tax.
Wow, that is interesting. Well, I'm going to leave this one here because that's quite eye-opening. Very strange amount of money that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet most of them are in debt. Some aren't, but most are in debt.
Yes, they are.
Wow. Wow. When you sit down with numbers and crunch them, mathematics, who knew it could be so dangerous?